What's up, kids? It's Caleb from Game Glyph, and in this video I'm going to do my top 5 favorite Super Nintendo games. And this is a hard list to make, because when you're making these kinds of lists, you have to decide between, am I being super nostalgic? Is this my top 5 games I'm the most nostalgic for, or is this my top 5 actual favorite games? And also for me in particular, this is difficult because there are so many JRPGs on the Super Nintendo that I love, that are iconic to my childhood. So I can't do this whole video about JRPGs because that would be boring and one-dimensional. So I'm going to limit to one game per genre. And this whole idea for me even doing this, because this is not Sega, so this is kind of out of character for me, was actually inspired by Jay. He did a video on his channel. He's the NES addict. You should check him out if you don't already know about him. He did a top 5 favorite Super Nintendo games. So, and he kind of suggested that maybe I make my own damn list because I was picking on him for his. So anyways, without further ado, here is my top 5 favorite Super Nintendo games for the Super Nintendo. Check it out. Number 5, I'm going to have to say, goes to Mega Man X2. This game always eluded me as a child. I rented it a lot, and it was just amazing to me. It was a good shooter, it was a good Mega Man game, and I love the first Mega Man X game, and I love the third Mega Man X game. There's something really special about Mega Man X2 to me. I like the way X looked on the cover with like the white suit. There were some really good enemies in this game, really good gameplay, really solid music. The only thing to not like about Mega Man X2 is the price. Holy shit, this game has gone up in price. It is ridiculously overpriced on eBay. And hopefully me doing this video will not affect that even more, which is probably impossible because there's only like going to be 50 people that watch the video. It's a really fun game, and I suggest playing it on an emulator because you probably can't afford it. I know I can't. I used to have this game when I was younger, and I really, really regret selling it. Definitely one of my biggest regrets selling a game was Mega Man X2. Number 4, Killer Instinct. Now this is one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Now it would have been easy for me to put Super Street Fighter or Street Fighter Alpha on here, but I had to do something that was really exclusive at the time, and that was Rare's Killer Instinct. This game had a totally unique perspective on fighting that kind of blended Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter together. The moveset in this game is very comfortable and familiar to me. It reminds me a lot of Street Fighter, yet there are fatalities and level fatalities, kind of like Mortal Kombat. One of my favorite characters in this game is Fulgore. He was kind of the Ryu of this game, very balanced. He shot projectiles, but what was really interesting about this game is the amount of combos that each character could do. I mean, they could do 100+ hit combos if you were really good at this game. And eventually I got really good at this game. Now I will admit, graphics in this game are a bit scaled down from the arcade. There's no zooming and scanning like you'd see in the arcade. And the music's a little bit scaled down too, but the music's awesome. It has like a real pop Michael Jackson feel. Controls are good, the graphics are amazing as usual from Rare. The gameplay is just top notch. This is one of my favorite fighting games of all time, and I've definitely ended a lot of relationships with really close friends playing this game. I pretty much like every character in this game too. I can find a way to play as everybody. Orchid, to Jago, to Fulgore, to Glacius. Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo. Top tier fighting game. Number 3 should come as no surprise to anyone that knows me. I'm actually a huge, huge Star Fox fan. I love Star Fox. I love the vector style, simplistic polygonal graphics in this game. They really blew me away when they first came out. 3D graphics on a 16-bit system was quite a sight to see, and this game actually really pulled them off. The gameplay is amazing too. The only thing that makes this game difficult is there's no aiming crosshair, like there was in the Nintendo 64 iteration of Star Fox 64. In this game, you gotta really, really try to aim at your enemies. Another problem with this game is that it's super short. But again, this game is awesome. The controls are great, the graphics are groundbreaking for their time, the music is phenomenal, the little bits of voice clips are great. This game is iconic. Do a barrel roll and play Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. Number 2. Number 2 is a cheat, I'm not gonna lie. Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World. That's right, this is 5 games in one. That's Super Mario 1, Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, and Super Mario The Lost Levels, and Super Mario World. This was really getting a lot of bang for your buck out of a cartridge. Had all of these games in one cartridge. And they didn't just port those games from the regular Nintendo over. No, they rebuilt these games from the ground up and gave them modernized 16-bit graphics, and they look phenomenal. In fact, this is one of my favorite ways to play Super Mario Bros. 3. I absolutely love that game, and this is a really reliable, fun way to play Super Mario 3. And of course, Super Mario World is one of the greatest games of all time, and is an absolute system seller for the Super Nintendo. When I saw my friend playing Super Mario World, and I had my Sega Genesis, I was like, you know what? I have absolutely got to get this game. This is a good game. This is a system selling game. And I wasn't wrong. Riding around on Yoshi and eating apples and spitting out Koopa shells. Totally worth it, totally fun, incredibly long game. My only complaint is I really don't like the way they redid the graphics on Super Mario 2. I just don't like the way they look. They're a lot brighter and a lot less bizarre than the original game was on the regular Nintendo, and I still to this day prefer that version. Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World, a must-have for any Super Nintendo collector. Number 1. Well, you knew this was going to happen, and it's surprisingly not a Castlevania game. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm not a humongous fan of Super Castlevania 4. I think it's a great game, and it would definitely be in my top 10 list, and it would definitely be in a top 20 list, but it is not my top 5. For me, Final Fantasy VI is my ultimate favorite game. Now, I had to choose between this and Secret of Evermore, and that was that moment where I was like, am I being more nostalgic, or am I being more honest? No, Final Fantasy VI has one of the greatest storylines of any JRPGs. Definitely really set the tone for what Squaresoft was going to do in the future for making cinematic worlds, character building, some of the greatest music of any game ever made, one of my favorite storylines, and ultimately one of the best villains in any game even to date now. Kefka was a real bastard, and you hated him and wanted to destroy him. And he was a total bitch at the end, but it was absolutely worth it. This game takes you on a magic journey through an awesome realized fantasy world. Very steampunk / cyberpunk, and really got me excited and got me into JRPGs. This wasn't my first JRPG. My first JRPG was Mystic Quest, and that game is a guilty pleasure of mine, but I know that it sucks. This game does not suck. So if you haven't played Final Fantasy VI for the Super Nintendo, you need to stop what you're doing right now and play that game. You can download it on your phone. I mean, it's just available. It's out there. It's on Steam. It's on Super Nintendo. It's on PlayStation. It's everywhere. Download and play this game. You will not regret it. One of the greatest games of all time, and definitely one of my favorite JRPGs of all time, and it came out first on the Super Nintendo. Final Fantasy VI. Numero uno, baby. What's up, kids? Caleb again here, and I just wanted to kind of throw this out there. I am over 250 subscribers at this point. I'm, I think, somewhere around 280. It keeps fluctuating because people suck and drop off. Don't do that. That is so lame. But anyways, I want to thank all the people that have recently subscribed to my channel. And by all means, stick around. I'm going to keep making content at my leisure, and I hope you enjoy it. My own special brand of weirdness in gaming. And I do Let's Play videos. If you're new to the channel, I do reviews, I do retrospectives. One thing I've kind of enjoyed doing lately is showing weird phone games because, well, quite frankly, some of the strangest games I have ever seen are on cell phones. And I have an awesome S8 Note, Samsung Note 8. I have a Samsung Note 8. So it's kind of like the most baller phone for playing games, in my opinion. And like if you look at the Google Play library of games, there's millions of games, and they're just some really freaking weird ones. So kind of a new thing I've been doing, and I introduced this with my Let's Play the Vaporwave game, whatever the fuck it's called, Vaporwave some shit. But that was a weird game, and you should watch that video because that game is weird. So anyways, thanks to all the new subscribers, and if you're new to this channel and you're watching this and you're like, why is this guy rambling on? By all means, I will do this less if you subscribe to my channel. I don't care if you like my video. I don't care if you thumbs down my video. Just subscribe to my channel so that way I can continue to make my own custom thumbnails. Because with the whole new demonetization thing, I don't expect to make money. I actually looked at my PayPal account. I've recently acquired 47 cents. That is my entire earnings from doing YouTube. So, hey, whatever. I do this because I like to and I think it's fun, and I'm going to do it anyway. But I don't want them to take away my privileges of like what I can do creatively with my channel.
So, please subscribe so I can continue to do weird shit. Thank you. Bye.
Ah.